From era to era to era, the fun goes on. Shakey's 50 years. Shakey's Creamy Spinach Pizza. Creamier.
Creamier, yummier.
From era to era to era, the fun goes on. Shakey's 50 years. Shakey's Creamy Spinach Pizza. Creamier.
Creamier, yummier.
From era to era to era, the fun goes on. Shakey's 50 years. Shakey's Creamy Spinach Pizza. Creamier.
Creamier, yummier. And welcome to all the volleyball fans watching. This is Quick Set, brought to you by Kick, powered by Smart 5G. I am Danny Nagpil, your courtside reporter. Later on to be joined by Rhea Ragas and Richie Cordero. Live tayo ngayon dito sa Rizal Memorial Coliseum for Day 2 of the second round of the 2025 Shakey Super League Preseason Unity Cup. And we're gonna have another thrilling triple header this Sunday. For our first game, it's two undefeated teams battling each other. We have the University of the Philippines fighting Maroons versus the defending champions National University Lady Bulldogs. At para sa ating pangalawang laro at 2 p.m., susubukan ng parehong koponan ng bumawi from their previous losses. We have Ateneo de Manila University versus another UAAP team, Adamson University. And for our third and last game at 4 p.m. today, we have College of St. Benilde, another undefeated team, versus the UST Golden Tigresses. Pero bago tayo tumungo, pumunta sa ating mga games today, balikan muna natin ang napaka-maaksyon na day 1 yesterday. Ano ba nangyari? So for our first game, NU defeated Adamson in a 5-set nail-biter. And CSB won over San Beda in 4 sets to stay undefeated naman. And of course, UST overcame FEU in a quick 3-set win. Now let us find out what Shakey Super League has in store for us with the SSL bundle. Cheer for your team while enjoying your Shakey's favorites with a Super League meal deal. Now available in 3 types: SSL 1099, SSL Classic, and SSL Gold. And it gets even better. Classic and Gold bundles now come with a Shakey Super Card for even more perks and discounts. Whether you're courtside or couchside, enjoy the action with a Super League meal deal. At pwede pang pumunta dito sa Rizal Coliseum. But if you are watching at home and spending time with family, you can still catch the 2025 Shakey Super League Preseason Unity Cup on Puso, Pilipinas, and our Shakey Super League Facebook page. The matches will also be broadcast on Smart Sports Facebook page. You can also catch our TV broadcasts on Solar Sports and DDT Channel 21, Cable Link Channel 58, and Sky Cable Channel 70. We're a few moments away before the first game at wag na natin itong patagalin. Again, this is Quick Set brought to you by Kick, powered by Smart 5G.
Dilang with another keen and powerful kill. From the Lady Knights.
Esco hammers that one down. Much more urgency here, but Boyos, oh my goodness, just erupting at the right time.
Confidence that we are seeing for the College of St. Benilde.
Now here she is, right on you. And the hang time there from Alinsog.
It's day number 2 of the second round here at Shakey's Preseason Unity Cup as Alexa Mata, or rather Nina Itang, will head on fighting Maroons, headed by Nina Itang with her confidence and calm in the clutch as they go up against Alexa Mata with her blocking prowess and poise as she continues to lead the pack for the Lady Bulldogs. It's a clash of the undefeated so far NU Lady Bulldogs will go up against the University of Santo Tomas, or rather University of the Philippines, for our game number 1 for this Sunday's triple header. I am Rhea Ragas together with Richie Cordero and of course Danny Nakpil in the sidelines. Richie, UP, nalagay sila sa one of the toughest pools in preliminary rounds. They're going up against the undefeated. How do you think UP will fare against NU?
Well, let's also remember that they are also undefeated. So I think it is a great advantage for UP to be placed in that type of pool because it really prepared them and set them up for today's match with the defending champions. You know, they went through a lot of 5-setter matches that really built their character. So we'll see how that will go.
That's right. Well, both teams remain undefeated, and this is the second round already. So it's really a matter of the pool standings here as we take a look at the Pool E and Pool F here, as 6 out of the 8 teams have already played so far. And of course, in Pool F, CSB rather and UST took care of business and won their assignments yesterday and are currently joined at top of Pool F. Or of course, in Pool E, this is where we see UP and Ateneo will debut for the first time in the second round, and of course And of course, NU will remain undefeated in Pool E as, of course, after winning that thrilling 5-setter match against Adamson. Of course, let's take a look at the recap of the game yesterday of University of the Philippines, of course, as they remain undefeated in their respective pool. UP defeated UST in 5 thrilling sets. Of course, they also defeated Mapua in another nail-biting 5-set. And in their last and final game in that round, they defeated Letran with 3 sets. Of course, they finished first in Pool C. And of course, yun nga yung na-mention natin kanina, it's one of the toughest pools for that preliminary round. But of course, let's take a look at our player in focuses presented by PusoP.com. Join now for free. If there's one player that really stood out in that previous game, it was no other than Cassie Dongalio.
Yeah, Dongalio is truly a brutal force that will challenge any defensive pattern of any team. As the main man for the Fighting Maroons, she leads by example, totaling 49 points in only 3 games. So you really see how she dominates when she is in front of the court, and even from the back of the court. Every time that she is given a chance, more often than not, it will produce into a point.
That's right, Richie. In her previous game nga, against UP, against Mapua, she scored 20 points. And of course, in that previous game against Letran, 9 points. So her performance really and leadership is expected going up against the defending champions in the Lady Bulldogs. But on the other side of the court, let's take a look at the Lady Bulldogs in their previous game against Adamson, through which that finished in 5 sets.
Well, it was a really, really close call for the defending champions, as if you can see here that Lady Falcons actually led in the scoring departments under spikes and blocks. The Lady Bulldogs utilized their tactical serves to win their first game in the second round yesterday.
That's true. So far, for the Lady Bulldogs, yung game nila against Adamson, that's really one of their toughest tests. And of course, they're going up against another undefeated team, that is UP. So let's see if that's something that experience against Adamson, that something will be translated going up against UP. And of course, if there's one player rather that really stood out against that game, it was no other than Celine Marsh.
Now, Celine Marsh had one thing in mind during that game, and that was clearly to win. 15 attack points, 3 block points, and 1 service ace. She remained determined, especially in the 5th set, to bounce back from the previous encounter with the Lady Falcons that was actually a loss. So she expressed a lot of gratitude with her teammates na hindi sila bumataw for that game.
You know, 2 players that really stood out for both their respective teams was really Celine Marsh and of course UP Ninya Itang. But of course, the real question is which team will remain undefeated? First match in just a bit.
Good eyesight makes perfect moments. For expert eye care, state-of-the-art facilities, affordable eyewear. Go to EO. EO Executive Optical. Love your eyes.
Presenting our game officials for this match. First referee, Pretzel De Lara. Second referee, Hil De Guia. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Rizal Memorial Coliseum. This is the Shakey Super League Preseason Unity Cup 2025. This match is between the University of the Philippines Fighting Maroons and across the net, the National University Lady Bulldogs. Let us meet the starters for both teams. First, from University of the Philippines Fighting Maroons. First off, setter number 1, Jas Mangilamotan. Middle blocker at number 9, Ninya Itang. Outside hitter number 10, Ira Hapuneta. Opposite hitter number 13, Vina Ale. Middle blocker number 14, Bien Basil. Opposite hitter number 15, Jalay Gajero. Starting libero at number 2, Keisha Capistrano. Head coach of the Fighting Maroons, Fabio Menta. And now for the starters of National University Lady Bulldogs. First off, outside hitter and team captain at number 6, Van Schalinsug. Middle blocker number 8, Pat Salazar. Middle blocker number 10, Alexa Mata. Setter number 13, Camila Lamina. Middle blocker number 17, Chama Aya. Outside hitter number 19, Celine Marsh. Starting libero at number 5, Shaira Hardio. Head coach of the Lady Bulldogs, Regine Diego.
For our starters for the University of the Philippines, you have Jas Manglimutan, Bansil, Ninya Itang, Jalay Gajero, Haboneta, Ali, and of course Capistrano as their starting libero. On this side of NU, you have Lams Lamina, Alexa Mata, Jam Maaya, Vanj Alinsog, Celine Marsh, and Pat Salazar, and of course the ever steady Shaira Hardio as their starting libero. And both teams so far remain undefeated after round number 1. This is a Pool E for round number 2. NU up at Pool E after defeating the Adamson Lady Falcons yesterday. And this is UP's first game in the second round, as this set is brought to you by Shakey's. From era to era to era, the fun keeps rolling. 50 years of fun, family, and pizza at Shakey's.
Very quick start here for the UP Fighting Maroons with a drop ball against 2 of the blockers.
You know, you mentioned earlier at the pregame, Richie, that yung UP, they belong to one of the toughest pools in the preliminary round. So yung experience talaga nila, especially given they went against 5-setter matches, will be crucial going up against the defending champions.
You know, NU also came from a 5-setter match.
And this service of the game is brought to you by Shakey's. From era to era to era, the fun keeps rolling. 50 years of fun, family, and pizza at Shakey's. Panchalinsog. Manglimutan goes to Ira. Great defense so far for NU. As Vanch is denied. Coverage was there for Harjo. Vanch with a cross. Ira cross court, no go. Pat Salazar cross court. Ira will try, she's denied.
Good energy here coming from both of our teams, but after that long rally, Mata was able to block that ball.
So we expect a lot of rallies will be offered to us in this game talaga, Regine. Of course, again, both teams are on a high, I would say, after what transpired in that first round.
Yeah, they've had a lot of challenges in this season, so we'll see how that will be translated in today's game.
Yep. Ninya Itang, cross court.
Fast activation there for Ninya Itang, really just familiar with the set of her setters, and that will be such a great advantage in actually confusing the blockers of NU.
That's true. Ninya Itang remains to be a steady, I would say, offender on the side of the Fighting Maroons. So it's a good sign for UP now that she has already been parang activated.
Yeah, I don't know if it's adrenaline, but both of our teams are actually showing up in the first set with a lot of energy and intensity already. Usually you see them kind of warming up, but that's not what we're seeing here. We've already had a couple of rallies and already formidable attacks.
And what I noticed, Richie, is that the previous games ng UP, hindi nila ginagamit si Gajero as a starter eh. And you can see now that Coach Fabio is really maximizing her here. Coverage was there for UP. Chance ball. Jamaya, that's short.
There's a free point for UP. And you mentioned Coach Fabio is actually mixing up his players as well, because we do have the all-to-play rule in the Shakey Super League. So I think it will really test the characters of the players, especially when it comes to being familiar with their teammates, not only just the starters, but having that mix-up in their lineup.
So you can really see na that all-to-play rule mechanic or system is really parang an opportunity for the team to better build that chemistry within them. Pat Salazar now on deck to serve. Great pass for UP. Jalai cross court. Celine Marsh. Ida Boneta was there. Back row for UP, that's wide.
That was a bit too long for Ali.
But also a great choice there for Mangilimutan to go to Ali. So far, for the UP Fighting Maroons, medyo tahimik pa si Ali, no? In the previous rallies.
You know, she is also in the back row area, so we'll see how she will translate, especially when she goes in front. But this time, UP successful at that point. That was Bansil for that attack.
Great activation for Bien Bansil on the side of the Fighting Maroons.
And that's what we want to see. We've already been seeing set plays, and this time faster tempo approaches.
Shamaya, and she scores.
Mabilis ang sagot ng NU Lady Bulldogs as Maaya will bring that down to the court of UP. It was nice because Marsh was actually able to get that first ball, but it was also a bit faulty. But their setter, of course, Lamina, is a very veteran setter, and she was able to activate her spikers.
And you can really see the connection of Lams Lamina to her attackers.
As well as Mangilimutan with Bansil once again for that quick tip. Now you see a one-hand set. Ang hirap gawin yan, but she was able to do so.
And that play was brought to you by Kick, powered by Smart. Our way, our rules. Download the app now. Jalay Gajero. Lams Lamina to Cham. She's denied.
Beautiful activation here for the UP Fighting Maroons.
So far, UP ahead by 2 points. It's a foot fault violation. Will be called against Jelay Gajero after that drop serve. Six to 7 is our score. Shamaya on deck to serve. Easy ball over. Mangilimutan goes to Ira. Coverage was there for UP. Oh! It's too short for Jelay.
2 errors now for Gajero. And actually, minsan lang natin makita na magkahiwalay si Gajero at si Dongalio at si Madriaga. So also Madriaga is their starting setter. So I think Coach Fabio is also waiting for the second set.
Chamaya now serving. Oh, that's wide. 8-7 is our score. First technical timeout here in set number 1.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Good eyesight makes perfect moments. For expert eye care, state-of-the-art facilities, affordable eyewear. Go to EO. EO Executive Optical. Love your eyes.
Unli projects, plans, play, game! With Smart Unli 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Shakey's Creamy Spinach Pizza. Creamier.
Creamier, yummier.
You are watching the 2025 Shakey Super League Preseason Unity Cup. The Lady Bulldogs were very emotional after escaping the Adamson Lady Falcons in their 5-set win in their round 2 opening match. Isa sa mga pinaka naging emotional was Cham Maaya. According to her, that win felt different and very much more fulfilling. Masarap yung panalo kasi mahirap at test talaga ito sa maturity namin, sabi niya. On top of this, she recognizes that they have to step up now as leaders with the absence of the likes of Bella Belen, which gives her the opportunity to be a strong leader. Kami naman ang mga ate ngayon. Chami said she takes inspiration from their ates by showing tough love to the younger team members and stepping up, especially when it's difficult and they are needed most. Rhea and Richie?
Thank you so much, Danny, for that report. Grabe, so far talaga, Richie, no? Yung game ng NU against Adamson is really parang one of their biggest tests so far in this season. Let's see if this is one of that also. They're going up against UP as well.
You know, going back to that report, I think nasanay sila with Bella Belen as their senior because Bella Belen, when she came in her collegiate years, she was already performing and leading as a rookie. So medyo mahaba yung time na malaki yung inaasahan sa kanya ng NU. So this time, it's so nice to see people stepping up, just like Celine Marsh with that hammer from the back row.
Great rally for both teams on that sequence as Celine Marsh will score a point for the Lady Bulldogs.
Yeah, she has been one of the go-to people of the setters of the National University Lady Bulldogs.
And talking about leadership, Richie, isa din talaga si Celine Marsh na nag-step up big time for the Lady Bulldogs.
And to think that this is only her second year playing.
Yes.
She's already playing like a veteran, and that's not something new when it comes to the system of the NU Lady Bulldogs.
As Nina Itang, no go.
Good save from Hardrio.
Vanch cross court, that's long.
Yeah, so a bit of attack errors coming from both teams. They're still trying to find their groove, especially because you're also warming up in the first set. So a little bit of errors that you wish to maximize, to eliminate in the second set.
Ali now serving. Marsh with the first ball. Pat cross court. Defense was there for UP. Ira. Lams chooses Alexa. This school play is brought to you by R&B MLT. Order now.
Lamina just doing a fabulous job activating her spikers. A while ago, we were seeing Mata, Maaya, Marsh, and now we see a lot of their players really stepping up when it comes to the attacking point.
Malimutan goes to Jelay. That's wide.
A third error there for Jelay Gajero.
Well, so far for the Fighting Maroons, yung errors, it's piling up for them here in set number 1.
And I think that's going to be a very high cost when it comes to the errors because kanina lamang sila and now try nila humabol.
Yep. As Ira will try and she scores.
Caboneta with a cross-court hit. Again, that's what you want. You want to actually stop the consistency that NU was showing.
Not the tallest of attackers there for the Fighting Maroons.
But
Talking
great
about Ira.
placement, yeah.
Yes. Celine Marsh, cross-court. Itang will set it up to Ali. That's wide.
We notice actually for the UP Fighting Maroons, their attack errors don't usually hit the net, but it actually goes longer. So I think it's really just adjusting their angle and where they hit the ball.
Yep. 12-10 is our score. Alexa Mata on deck to serve. Malimutan goes to Jelay. Cross court.
Bumawi na si Gajero, especially because her sweet spot is really when she's nearer to the net rather than her back row attacks. So if we can see here, medyo malayo siya mag-approach sa net, pero once she gets her elevation, ang dali na makakita kung saan niya ipi-place yung bola.
And that set was actually the perfect one for her.
Beautiful serve there.
Reverse set to Pat. She's denied. Lams goes to Celine. Malimutan to Ira. Lams Lamina was there. Marsh will try. Coverage was there for NU. 1-2 play. Jelay again.
Denied at the net from the NU Lady Bulldogs, but that will sail out, awarding that point to the UP Fighting Maroons. 2 consecutive points there for Jelay Gajero.
It's high time for the Fighting Maroons to take advantage of Jelay at the front row.
Now they're building on momentum.
Yep.
Especially because Gajero is now in front.
Celine Marsh, combination play.
This time that momentum is killed as our go-to person for the NU Lady Bulldogs will score another point. That is a beautiful hit and actually a longer one.
Yes.
When you compare it to her other attacks, really just trying to miss the blocker's hands.
Pat Salazar. Abuneta with a pass. Jelay cross court.
This time, wala nang chance i-block yung bola kasi ibabaw na ibabaw si Gajero. You know, she's really not the tallest of spikers, but every time she elevates, she flies and soars. Wow, what a spike.
This spike is brought to you by Potato Corner, world's best flavored fries. Order now.
And it's not just her elevation, but also the power that she has in each attack. But first, a service ace coming from our setter of the UP Fighting Maroons. That is Mangalimutan.
It's a timely ace for the Fighting Maroons as they are now up 14-13. Badge with the pass. Celine Marsh, this time down the line.
If you want to kill momentum, you just give it to Celine Marsh. And more often than not, that ball will find itself to the floor.
And it's really nice to see her grow as a player here for the Lady Bulldogs. In fact, ang dami ng games ni Celine Marsh dati when she was still in high school na na-cover natin. No? And right now, it's really nice to see her here at the collegiate level doing such a huge responsibility. It's Ali, she's denied.
This time blocked by Maaya.
No coverage was there for the Fighting Maroons. As this block is brought to you by Peri Peri Charcoal Chicken and Sauce Bar. Order now.
Now, when you have a player, or when you go against a player such as Ali, it's so important for you to be aggressive sa net pa lang because you don't want that ball to cross to your court na papadepensahan mo pa yan. So as much as possible, you want to slow that ball down. That is Bansil for that long attack.
Para nakita mo, Richie, no, when Bansil, after going for that attack, sabi niya ang baba daw nung set.
Actually, it was a bit low for her. Her hand wasn't really in the proper form already, but she was still able to properly place it. Good first ball for NU.
Vangeline Sog powering through.
If you want an explosive attack, for sure it will be Alinsog.
It's a great setup job there, Vangeline Sog, as we head on to our second technical timeout, 16-15, our score.
From era to era to era, the fun goes on. Shakey's 50 years.
Unli projects, plans, play, games. With Smart Unli 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Action continues here at the historic Rizal Memorial Sports Complex. It's the battle of the undefeated. So far in Pool E, it's the Lady Bulldogs going up against the Fighting Maroons. Substitution for Coach Fabio here. That's Olango. Saali will have some resting time. Jamaya serving for the Lady Bulldogs. Sharp serve. Malimutan. Jalay will give up a free ball. Vangeline Sog. Olango. Smart move.
That is how you prove that you don't need a powerful attack, but you need a smart one. And that's what sets you apart to be a really great spiker, is when you know how to vary your attacks to when it's most needed.
But because at the end of the day, Richie, no, volleyball, after all, is a mental game din talaga. Lahat ng points na makukuha mo, isang puntos lang yun.
Tama. Mapa-spike, mapa-serve, kahit free ball, a point is a point.
Yep. Bump set to Ira. Defense was there for the Lady Bulldogs. Van, she's denied.
That set was a bit too far for the liking of Vange Alinsog, which made it very easy for the blockers of the UP Fighting Maroons to read where that ball would go.
This block is brought to you by Peri Peri Charcoal Chicken and Sauce Bar. Order now. So far for Olango, kakapasok niya lang but 2 points already.
And that's what you want.
Yes.
Na wala nang warm-up.
Yep,
even from the bench. You warm up actually outside. You start moving around, and when you go inside, ready ka na dapat.
Tas yung tendency kasi, Richie, di ba, pag nasa bench ka, tas ipapasok ka, especially at the most crucial times, is medyo malamig ka pa, hindi mo pa gamay yung nangyayari sa loob. But so far for Lango, she's really doing a good job.
And it's also a mental challenge, of course, to come inside and you know that everyone inside is already adjusted. So you're supposed to be the one to put yourself inside the court and adjust to how the team is already moving.
But if for contact violation after that attack from Olango, as Lams Lamina on deck to serve.
Beautiful serve there.
Ira Hambuneta. Coverage was there for UP. Olango will try again. Lams goes to Vange.
The second time is the charm. That set was still a bit far, but this time you actually see Vange Alinsog targeting the hands of the blockers and spiking it out. So the angle of her arm when she brought it down was for it to really bounce to the outside area of the court.
No, great adjustment there from Vange Alinsog.
We have Cassie Dongallo inside the court now.
A great serve. Malimutan. Chance ball for UP.
Dongallo being activated, and she is successful with a down-the-line hit. Oh, I'm sorry. I think our first referee will call that ball out, and that point will be awarded to the NU Lady Bulldogs.
Coach Fabio will call for time here. Let's listen in.
Important moments, okay? Let's not play weird things, okay? Simple game. Take it to the antenna so she can choose line or cross. Okay, if you take it to the antenna, the block is not closed. You see the gap, you go in. When you go in the gap, you can close as much as you want. Okay, don't risk anything if the ball is not perfect. All right, let's go with it.
That huddle was powered by Kick. Download the app now.
Very direct instructions for mga Limutan and Dongalio on what kind of attack to do in the next sequence. So let's see if they will be able to actually do it. So I think mga Limutan will set it farther nearer to the antenna so that the block will be open and that Cassie Dongalio will actually have the choice of bringing it to zone 1, which is nearer to the service line or cross court.
Nams Lamina. Mga Limutan. To Olango, she's denied. Dongalio will try. Cardio was there. Celine Marsh from behind. Olango will try again. Defense was there for NU. Cassie, off speed.
Beautiful save from Hardio.
Chance ball will be given up. Mga Limutan. And it's a free point for UP.
Is an overreaching error coming from the NU Lady Bulldogs. So a free point indeed.
18-20 is our score. And it's only set number 1. Richie, parang ang dami na nangyari, no?
Yes.
Olango with a sharp serve.
Now, let's not forget that 2 of our teams here today are undefeated, which means they have really given it their all and paved their way to be where they are at right now. So they would want to stay on top.
Kumbaga, kung sino yung matalo, a taste of their own medicine, no? After winning all of their matches.
Exactly.
Cassie Dongalio.
Nakasarado ng block.
Olango will give up a free ball. Pat Salazar.
Good first ball from Gajero.
Olango. Advance was there. Pat will try again and give up a chance ball. Oh, miscommunication for the Fighting Maroons.
Very unfortunate error there. Actually, both of the teams were showing such great floor defense and coverage. But when it comes to errors such as that, it's really just miscommunication and unfamiliarity with your setter to your spiker.
Substitutions now for Coach Fabio. Madriaga will replace mga Limutan. But of course, Coach Fabio will exhaust his last timeout. Makinig muna tayo.
The game becomes fast and chaotic, but the setters have to be in control. You don't go faster than the ball. Think, all right? Now the distribution, we have casting 4. Okay, we have quick middles. So clean ball, anticipate the middle. I didn't see a 2. A quick behind. All right? Or if not.
That huddle was powered by Kick. Download the app now.
Setters are always in control. That's what Coach Fabio actually mentioned to the girls. And to also remind the middle blockers to not go first when it comes to being set up, because you need to look at the ball first. So I think when it comes to the team, the setters is really the heart of the team, because they are the playmakers inside the court. So they do give all the calls.
Vanch with a jump serve. Madiaga goes to Itang.
Bilis. Ang bilis mag-bounce back ng UP. So Itang, just another running attack for her. So smooth.
This school play is brought to you by R&B Milk Tea. Order now. That's how you should respond to a timeout talaga, Richie, no?
Exactly.
Alexa Mata, and she scores.
It's just the battle of the middle blockers and attackers for both of our teams. This time, Alexa Mata being activated.
In fact, napag-usapan nga natin sila earlier, no? Alexa Mata continues to be a steady middle blocker for the Lady Bulldogs, whereas si Itang naman, parang opposite sila ni Alexa Mata. Alexa Mata is really parang calm and composed, whereas si Nina Itang, you know, the very aggressive middle blocker for the Fighting Maroons, but an error will be called against Ninya Itang on that quick attack. 23-19. Long serve. The hero. Lams reverses. Pat, that's short.
Oh, I think there was a net touch violation from the side of the UP Fighting Maroons. Actually, a couple of errors, of unforced errors coming from UP, which is just really giving away free points to NU, and they're maximizing that chance and the opportunity to actually bag the set.
Set point now for the Lady Bulldogs. Jalai down the line.
Game is not yet over as Gajero will get that point. You see that Gajero is actually known to have sharper spikes rather than longer ones, but this time she really is variating her attacks to gain points.
Ninya Itang.
Two spikers in front for UP as well as NU.
Celine Marsh!
That is just the cherry on top for the NU Lady Bulldogs as they cap off this set with a beautiful spike coming from the most explosive player, Celine Marsh.
The Lady Bulldogs will secure set number 1 as 20-25 is our score.
Shakey's fun goes on and on and on, on and on and on. Shakey's got it going on, we still bring the fun.
With decades of great pizza, chicken, and mojos.
Shakey's fun goes on and on.
From era to era to era. The fun goes on. Shakey's 50 years.
The fun goes on at Shakey's.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Shakey's Creamy Spinach Pizza. Creamier.
Creamier, yummier.
Unli projects, plans, play, game. With Smart Unli 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Cheer for your team while enjoying your Shakey's favorites with the Super League Meal Deal. Now available in 3 types: SSL 1099, SSL Classic, and SSL Gold. Whether you're craving pizza, chicken, mojos, or pasta, there's a bundle for every appetite. You also get to support your favorite team because for every order, 50 pesos goes to your chosen SSL participating school. Whether you're courtside or couch side, enjoy the action with the Super League Meal Deal. Set number 1, Richie. It was as expected, no? An exchange of rallies for both teams, an early activation on the middle, and we saw how both setters, mga Limutan and Lams Lamina, really orchestrated their offense.
The UP Fighting Maroons and the NU Lady Bulldogs really stepped inside the court with one thing in mind, and that was to win that set. But it really was just a battle of skill. But as you can see here, 13 errors was the thing that really set NU apart from UP, with UP giving a lot of free points. Pero pantay naman tayo dito for the blocks. 1 attack point leading with UP, and 2 service aces for UP and none for NU. It was really just the errors.
Yes. And of course, UP also having more aces in that set. Set number 2 is underway as this set is brought to you by Shakey's. From era to era to era, the fun keeps rolling. 50 years of fun, family, and pizza at Shakey's. We're seeing a new set of players for both teams, courtesy of our all-to-play rule.
Now we were talking about how Coach Fabio was actually mixing up his players and not starting with all of his starters. So Madriaga and Cassie Dongallo now on deck for the second set, while we have Pono, of course, and Sam Cantada leading for NU.
Of course, you mentioned it. Also, Noceja, Umayam, Olango, Madriaga, and Gamboa will be maximized by Coach Fabio as Cassie Dongallo will score a point of that pipe attack.
And it just shows how much trust Coach Fabio has for his girls, especially Dongallo and the Madriaga connection. They've been together ever since they were grade school, I think grade school or early high school, and now it really just shows as an advantage. But this time it was an easy point from a miss hit coming from the NU Lady Bulldogs.
Sam Cantada with a jump serve.
Faulty first ball, but adjusted by Dongallo.
Bombita targeting that corner pocket.
Bombita, when she was a rookie a couple of seasons ago, we know that she was very much activated and given exposure, and this time she's really leading her team with that.
Sam Cantada. Madriaga goes to the middle. Abby Pono was there. Bombita too close to the net.
Good net press there coming from the UP Fighting Maroons. That set was also too near for the attackers of the NU Lady Bulldogs to actually adjust to.
Error there after that Olango serve.
Now let's not forget that these players from the UP Fighting Maroons were at the bench in the first set. So they already saw and observed the errors that the team committed in the first set. So as much as possible, you would want to learn from that and actually eliminate those errors. But of course, they came from the bench, so they still are a bit cold.
Chance ball for UP. Denied there. UP will try.
Set was a bit too low.
Olango off the... Bombita, she's denied.
Cantada to Bombita again.
Madriaga was there. Cassie Dongallo from behind. Off speed as Pono will go to Escanlar.
A lot of missed sets happening. Just really trying to find that groove and that first ball reception.
Escanlar, that's short. Great rally on that last sequence. Both teams talaga, you give it to their defense talaga, no? Yung coverage nila.
Yes. Now on the side of the NU Lady Bulldogs, we know that these names have had their fair share of exposure and experience when it comes to playing inside the court. Of course, we have Escanlar, Escanlar, Bombita, Cantada, Pono. Really familiar names.
Yes. Madriaga goes to Olango.
Olango from the back. You know, when she was subbed in a while ago, it was quick for her to adjust to how the team was playing. But this time, she's actually setting up the pace and the standard for how to really get the points for her team.
And what I noticed for Olango also is she's very calm as a player. And of course, if you're in a situation like this, you're going parang high intensity match, gusto mo magkaroon ng ganong teammate, no? Yung calm and composed lang.
Yes. Well, it's different for every player. Sometimes you're more composed when you're more vocal, but for other people, silence can kill. Oh, celebration for the NU Lady Bulldogs for that point. Medyo nagulat din yung Fighting Maroons nung nag-over yung bola na yon.
But what a dig that was from Cantada. Nagkatinginan lang yung Fighting Maroons on that drop ball by Bahamonde. Bombita now serving. Gongalio was there. Masehal from behind. Abby Pono goes to Escanlar. Great dig by Cassie. Olango from behind.
Battle of the open spikers, indeed.
Cassie will try, and she scores.
Exactly what we were saying a while ago. She has been the player of the game so many times, and every time she's activated, it comes to a point.
That play was brought to you by Kick, powered by Smart. Our way, our rules. Download the app now. Jenna Umayam. Cepada with a bump set. It's a free ball for UP.
Great attempt there for Escanlar to actually drop that ball, because the players of UP was actually moving backwards, but unfortunately it was just a little too short to go over the net.
Umayam still serving for UP. Cepada with the first ball.
Babawi dito si Escanlar.
Escanlar with an off-the-block kill.
Yeah, still not the spike that she was looking for, but it was successful as it hit the blocker's hands.
6-all po tayo, set number 2. Even set number 2, Regino.
Exactly. A while ago, we saw a lot of our starters playing, and they were really battling it neck to neck when it comes to the skills and blocking and attacks. But we're seeing the exact same outcome with the second stringers. So it really comes to show how Coach Reg and Coach Fabio is doing a really good job balancing out the players and I guess the fluidity that both teams have.
And you can also see kung gaano kalalim yung benches or yung lineup roster for Coach Regina and Coach Fabio. Parang ang dami nilang pwedeng ipasok.
Kahit anong hugot pwede.
Another deadlock here at set number 2. Great serve there for NU. Reverse to Cassie down the line.
Easy hit there for Cassie with little to no blockers in front of her. Sobrang nakaibabaw siya. And if you see her approach, ang layo niya from the attack line mag-approach. And that just comes to show that she has so much space and opportunity to have an explosive attack.
8-7 is our score.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app. Choose your number. Activate the eSIM and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Good eyesight makes perfect moments. For expert eye care, state-of-the-art facilities, affordable eyewear. Go to EO. EO Executive Optical. Love your eyes.
Only projects, plans, play, games. With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Shakey's Creamy Spinach Pizza. Creamier.
Creamier, yummier. You are still watching the 2025 Shakey Super League Preseason Unity Cup. I trained them to not just play volleyball, but to play volleyball against someone. Coach Fabio emphasizes this kind of mindset to his girls, making sure they tweak their strategy depending on their opponent on the floor. And for this game, they specifically prepared on their defense, especially countering the attacks of the likes of Vanch Alinsog. And we've seen the Fighting Maroons denying Alinsog multiple times in the first set. Coach Fabio said that they prepared training to outsmart NU in their main directions of attack, partnered with the strategy of cutting off NU's middle blockers. Another tactic here of the very analytical coach was to not allow the Lady Bulldogs to play quick, capitalizing on their service block correlation strategy. Something they need to execute well for them to snatch back the momentum and win the second set. Rhea and Richie.
Your skill training is one thing, but mental training is another. And that's something you can't really teach during training, because you're more focused on your basics, you're more focused on your execution. But being able to adjust in-game, in real time, is such a skill for any player to really develop, because you really try to learn your opponent, you learn how to adjust to how they're moving, if they're doing a good job, if they're doing a lot of errors. It's also maximizing the opportunities that they give.
Kumbaga, the system is there already, Regino. Sa practice, you do that every day. It really matters kung how you execute that to the game. And it's a different kind of pressure pag andun ka na sa actual game.
Truly, it becomes muscle memory to play volleyball, but it really sets you apart as a player if you know how to adjust and to play the best against your opponent.
Timeout, Coach Fabio. Let's listen in.
But there's so much stupidness today on court. We cannot play volleyball with a low IQ. All right? Middles, aggressive and net. You jump on every ball that's supposed to be that's a block. We lost it. Okay? No swipes anymore. Attack hard. If you get blocked, it's my fault. But you need to attack hard. You need to attack hard when you go back on court. Ready? It's up to us.
That huddle was powered by Kick. Download the app now.
Again, Coach Fabio just mentioning the low IQ. I think he wants his players to step up mentally when it comes to reading and playing smart against their opponent, because we see that NU has been adjusting more when it comes to the energy and the plays that UP has been giving them. So he wants to actually match that kind of energy.
At napansin ko din yan, Richie, no? Sa mga timeouts ni Coach Fabio in his previous games, during which lagi niyang nire-remind ang girls na kung ma-block kayo, it's on me. It's my fault. So he's really assuring his girls na just do your thing. Play smart volleyball. If you can do a power attack, do it. And kung ma-block kayo, that's on me. But at the end of the day, what really mattered is nag-execute ka ng ginawa mo.
All this time, Sam Cantara, 3 spikers in front for the NU Lady Bulldogs using her right hand. She's actually a lefty.
Yeah.
So good adjustment, but
great save there by Cepada. Escanlar will give up a free ball. Madriaga reverses to Olango.
Olango, quiet, but such a silent killer inside the court, especially when she's activated in the opposite side. I think it's really her bread and butter that she knows how her blockers move and she's able to adjust to them.
That's true. In fact, she was up against a single block nung attack na yun. Kasi nga, like you said, a silent killer siya. You would not expect na at that last moment, ibibigay na pala sa kanya, no? Kasi, of course, you would expect a Cassie Dongalio and, of course, Jelay Gajero. But again, Olango, ever consistent for the Fighting Maroons.
Yeah, just give credit also to Madriaga, who's doing a good job balancing and activating her spikers. Free point now for UP.
11-12, NU up by 1. Olango now serving for UP. Escanlar was there. Bombita. Great defense for UP. Cepada with a pass. Pono, combination play. And great defense from UP. Noceja, cross court, no go. Bombita. Great rally so far. And Cassie right behind.
Dongalio now attacking from another point, or another place from the court, and this time it's from the back row. And you know that she's actually used to being activated wherever inside of the court, so it just shows how much variety she has in her attacks.
Great serve there from Olango. Pono reverses to Bombita down the line.
This time Bombita successful with her attacks. Kanina, she was focusing more on making the balls go cross court, but this time she found her sweet spot in zone 5.
This school play is brought to you by R&B Milk Tea. Order now. You see ball over. Noceja off the block.
A very slow approach, but you saw her actually charging herself to have enough power and to adjust to a higher set coming from Madriaga, and she saw that the down the line was actually open when it came to her blockers.
Another deadlock po here in set number 2. as Escanlar will try. Defense was there for UP. Cassie, she's denied. Cassie will try again, will give up a free ball. Pono goes to Bombita. Oh, great defense. Pono goes to Escanlar. Drop ball, and it's good.
UP was expecting a strong and long attack, but with just beautiful strategy. And he was able to finish that point. But of course, that save coming from UP is also very, very good.
Smart play there by Escanlar. Bombita. Madriaga goes to the middle. That's short.
Yeah, sometimes errors like this, it's actually just a split second of decision making inside your head that papaluin ko ba, idodrop ko ba. So sometimes that split second can cost you an error.
Yep. Oh, miscommunication there for UP. So great serve coming from Bombita as 13-16 is our score. It's the second technical timeout here in set number 2.
From era to era to era, the fun goes on. Shakey's 50 years.
Only projects, plans, play, games. With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
This Shakey Super Fans of the Game is brought to you by Shakey's. From era to era to era, the fun keeps rolling. 50 years of fun, family, and pizza at Shakey's. Of course, we are still live here at the historic Rizal Memorial Sports Complex. So if you're nearby, might as well enjoy your Sunday with a volleyball match. Of course, we have 2 more matches later at 2 p.m. and of course at 4 p.m. And round 2 na po tayo dito sa Shakey's Preseason Unity Cup, through which magmatter na dito yung standings talaga, Richie, no, as both top 2 from each pools will have that twice-to-beat advantage going into the quarterfinals.
And we see our girls here just really fighting for that twice-to-beat advantage, as you see Dongalio finishing that rally up. You know, she attempted twice already na nakaibabaw siya, but this time she put more power into that attack. That's why it sailed out through the blocker's hands.
Itang will be substituted in. Cepada with a pass. Pono, 1-2 play.
Nakabanday doon si Dongalio.
Dongalio down the line.
Another hit from Dongalio. And this is what we've been looking for the UP Fighting Maroons, is to really just stop the momentum of the NU Lady Bulldogs.
This spike is brought to you by Potato Corner, world's best flavored fries. Order now. Cepada with a pass. Escanlar drop ball. Escanlar, and she scores.
Good presence of mind there for Escanlar. And she saw that when her drop ball was received, actually it was gonna go over the net. That's why she had just enough time to elevate herself and hit that ball. Not the strongest, but effective for her.
Escanlar serving for NU. Great jump there. Madriaga running to Nina, and that's good. Smart move there from Nina Itang to just tip that ball over.
Nakabantay na rin dun yung blockers ng NU. That's why Itang really variated her attack into a drop ball.
Pantada. Pono set it to the open. Madriaga was there for UP. Dongalio off speed. Pono chooses Escalar. Great defense. Oh. No third ball there for UP.
NU is just really doing a great job, especially with their second stringers. It's giving them a different kind of confidence.
Yes.
To be given enough trust and enough playing time by Coach Reg. And I think Coach Reg mentioned that they are a rebuilding team, so this is what they want.
Second timeout for Coach Fabio. Let's listen in.
Okay. We'll talk later. Right now, ladies, on both sides, we attack in line. Okay, there's space on the line. There's no space against the middles. All right? If you set in the middle, it's a big quick, but let me see also too. Let's go behind. Okay? Let's go, ladies.
That huddle was powered by Kick. Download the app now.
Again, you really have to commend Coach Fabio for actually giving very direct and specific instructions to his girls. So I think for that kind of timeout, he was asking Madriaga to not just show B-quicks, but actually to give a 2, which is a higher variation of that kind of attack. So I think it's really just to confuse the blockers of NU because of the aggression they've had in defending the net.
It's commonly called DOS, DOS play.
DOS play.
You know. Kumbaga, a little higher than the B quick and a little shorter than the open or C open. So that's a great instruction from Coach Fabio as Cassie cross court.
Yeah, we don't even get surprised anymore every time she is set up because of how powerful her attacks are.
This bike is brought to you by Potato Corner, world's best flavored fries. Order now. Cassie with a jump serve. Abi Pono, 1-2 play. Joust at the net. And that's a score for UP.
With that 1-2 play, they really just broke the momentum that NU was trying to gain to convert it into an attack point. That's why it became theirs.
This time, Coach Regine will call for time.
Kapag walang pasa, doon ibibigay kay Kian. Si Kian, ma-down the line pag matulak. Pag bitin, mag-short cross. Do you understand? Pero we have to make points. You cannot tip behind the block. You have to hit hard. Diyan rin huwag kang matakot kay Ita. Sa daming side. Pero wag pag-itik na.
That huddle was powered by Kick. Download the app now.
During crucial times, especially when the score is tied up and the intensity is high, the coaches really step up in giving specific instructions. We saw it a while ago with Coach Fabio, and now we see it with Coach Reg. Really just showing how systematic it can be when it comes to giving instructions from the coach.
Kumbaga, sa training kasi, Richie, may mga plays na yung mga team eh. Tapos kung ano yung momentum or ano yung trend sa laro, anong
yun yung masusundan.
Yes, exactly. And so far, sa mga timeouts ng both coaches, naririnig natin na ano yung gusto nilang plays, no? Which is really, really nice. But a substitution will be made here for UP. That's Jelay Gajero now for the Fighting Maroons. Abi Pono with that long serve. They don't need that right now. It's a costly error there for the Lady Bulldogs.
Yeah, but we also have to commend Coach Reg for giving confidence to her girls, especially with the errors that they committed earlier. Sabi niya, wag kang matakot. So instead of focusing on that error, it's more progressive in giving advice and really just motivating them to be the best they can be.
Another error there for the Fighting Maroons. Errors talaga in the service area, Richie, no? Yun talaga yung nagpuputol ng momentum, no? So, if you're in a tight situation like this, as much as possible, avoid those kinds of errors.
This time, a free ball will be given to NU.
Pono goes to the open. Escanlar, and that's long.
But that set from Pono was a little too wide for Escanlar to actually adjust to.
Substitution for the Lady Bulldogs. Alinsug in. Escanlar will have her resting time.
What I like about NU, if you saw it, if you saw the substitution in the previous times, they actually have a little hug instead of just high-fiving, the usual high-five, slap in the butt. It's really a hug na parang, oh, I got you. It just gives confidence also to the players going inside.
This block is brought to you by Peri Peri Charcoal Chicken and Sauce Bar. Order now. What a block that was.
I know. Kakapasok lang, ang bilis mag-translate into a point.
A great serve for UP.
Buhay
Chase
pa
there,
dito.
yep.
Bola.
Bono will give up a free ball. Madriaga goes to Gajero. She's denied. Cassie was there. Gajero again. And she scores.
That was a bit too near the net, making it very challenging for Jelle Gajero, but she is successful to get that ball over the hands of her two blockers.
Timeout for Coach Regine. Makinig po muna tayo.
Huwag kayong kailangan sabay kayo. 1, 2, bilang kayong dalawa. Masyadong maluwag yung block nyo. Kumapit na ko. Mag-big-big si Pansin, magte-tres. Pag loose ball, dudulo. Yan lang yung gagawin nila. Understand? Kapag backrow,
That huddle was powered by Kick. Download the app now.
Specific instructions again for the blocking of NU. You know, it's one thing for you to master timing in blocks, but it's another thing for you to be in the same pace as your teammate when you want to have a double block or a triple block. It's a different kind of pace, it's a different kind of counting na magkasabay kayo, and a different kind of reading when it comes to where the opponent will hit.
Kasi malaking bagay yung gap sa blocking, Richie, no? Kumbaga kung may a little space lang, it's actually an opportunity na rin for the opponent na kung saan nila pwede i-pass through yung bola.
Exactly. Ang laki ng chance na makakalusot yan if hindi naka-close yung blocking mo. At this time, Evangeline Sog actually using the hands of the blockers to get that point. You see her targeting the ball to actually aim higher instead of her explosive napaon na palo.
Another substitution for the Lady Bulldogs, Cham Maaya.
More starters from both of our teams we see here.
Oh, great serve. A chance ball will be given up. Bono goes to Van. She's denied. That's out.
Celebration again for Vange Alinsug. Maaasahan talaga tong batang to. Actually, hindi na siya bata. Siya na pala yung veteran
she's one
ngayon.
of the seniors now.
Exactly. I remember covering her when she was just a rookie.
Yes.
But she was still playing as a veteran. But this time, she really embraces her role, especially when it comes to playing by example.
Jalay. And Jalay will try off the block.
Again, you know, Jalay Gajero, sometimes her spikes don't have that much power, but it has direction and it has purpose and intention.
Yes.
So when you see her really elevating, you see that she will direct that ball where she wants it and it will be successful.
And yun yung napag-usapan natin earlier, Richie, no? Yung space sa blocking, malaking bagay na rin yun. And that's exactly what Jalay Gajero did in that last sequence. Medyo late si Cham Maaya on that, but an enforced error will be committed for the Lady Bulldogs. UP now at set point.
Starting setter of the NU Lady Bulldogs, Cams Lamina, will be inside the court.
Jalay. Jump serve and no good for the Fighting Maroons.
A very expensive error for the UP Fighting Maroons, especially because we have a lot of our starters from NU. They are familiar with each other, so if they can translate this point into theirs, it will be very, very intimidating, especially with the aura they have.
Oh!
But that is a service error coming from Bombita, closing this set in favor of the UP Fighting Maroons.
Not exactly how the Lady Bulldogs want to end things here at set number 2. But UP secures this set 25-23.
With each new decade, a fun new side. Still serving smiles on every plate. 50 great years, let's celebrate. Shakey's fun goes on and on and on, on and on and on. Shakey's got it going on. We still bring the fun.
With decades of great pizza, chicken, and mojos.
Shakey's fun goes on and on.
From era to era to era. The fun goes on. Shakey's 50 years.
The fun goes on at Shakey's.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Shakey's creamy spinach pizza. Creamier.
Creamier, yummier.
Only projects, plans, play, games. With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Cheer for your team while enjoying your Shakey's favorites with the Super League Meal Deal. Now available in 3 types: SSL 1099, SSL Classic, and SSL Gold. Whether you're craving pizza, chicken, mojos, or pasta, there's a bundle for every appetite. You also get to support your favorite team because for every order, 50 pesos goes to your chosen SSL participating school. Whether you're courtside or couch side, enjoy the action with the Super League Meal Deal. Of course, Richie, set number 2. As expected, both teams will be on a neck-and-neck battle here in Pool E. We saw a new set of players here, courtesy of our all-2-play rule. UP started with Madriaga and Olango as their starters for set number 2, and we saw on the other side of the net, NU has Pono and Bombita and Cantada of their own. And 25-23 was our score.
For the set statistics, we see that pantay naman ang attack points ng pareho nating koponan, but UP will lead in blocks with 2-1 of NU. 1 ace for NU, but also more errors coming from NU.
Set number 3 underway for UP and NU. As this set is brought to you by Shakey's. From era to era to era, the fun keeps rolling. 50 years of fun, family, and pizza at Shakey's. Pag-usapan nga natin earlier, Richie, no, we're very excited sa set number 3.
Exactly.
Because our all-2-play rule states na pag set number 3, the coaches have the liberty na to choose.
So this is the full set of our coaches' starters.
Yes.
It will really test the characters of each team, especially because set 2 was really a play of different variations of players inside the court. But this time, it's their starters, pinakasanay, pinakamature na players. So the trust is in them for each of their teams.
Of course, for the Fighting Maroons, you have their team captain, Haboneta, headed by also the playmaker Madriaga, Olango, Casidongalio, Nina Itang, and of course for NU you have Lams Lamina, Alexa Mata, right on time. Of course, Pat Salazar, also Celine Marsh, and Vanchalin Suk.
And with one set apiece, you will really expect the starters like Alexa Mata to really step up in this set.
Vanch Alinsug on deck to serve for NU. Oh, great jump serve. Madriaga goes to Itang. Chance ball will be given up. Oh, that's out.
Coach Fabio disappointed with that error coming from his libero. So Evangeline Sug still on deck to serve for the NU Lady Bulldogs.
Because the least that you can do if you give up a chance ball, Richie, really is to just
napahirapan sila.
Pahirapan sila, but you can't afford na to give that point.
Yes.
But on the side of NU, another service error will be called.
Itang now. Yes.
Jump serve. Cardio was there. Alexa Mata.
Beautiful first ball coming from Cardio. Can I just say that attack could only be possible because of that pass, because of that first ball that was given to their setter, being able to activate their middle spikers right away.
And to think of it, Richie, no, yung serve ba ni Itang on that sequence was coming from a jump serve. So, medyo, it's as if nagaling sa atake, but still naka-counter sila ng attack from the middle. So, it's really a nice first ball, but this time, it's a better execution of that Cassie Dongalio attack.
Not your usual explosive attack. It was just a quick clip of the wrist for Cassie Dongalio.
As this cool play is brought to you by R&B Milk Tea. Order now. Celine Marsh.
Oh! Good intention there from Olango, but that was an error. Mishit there.
Yep. Hindi niya nakuha yung timing on that attack.
Well, I think it was also hard because the ball was coming and it was spinning.
Yes.
So,
medyo
yes.
Hirap yung makuha yung timing on that attack. But Cassie Dongalio forces an error. Coach Fabio trying to contest that call, as Ira Haboneta will clarify with our first referee here. I think Coach Fabio was contesting na, if I'm not mistaken, na inside yung bola, Richie, that it caught the line, that corner pocket. So our officials are clarifying things here. See, as early as 5 points, Richie, parang ganito naka-intense yung laban natin.
Yeah, at this point, you can't really give extra points.
Yes, that's
so wrong calls can be very, very crucial, especially when it comes to an intense game.
But that point will be given to the Lady Bulldogs. Oh, great pass there from Cassie. This point will be given to UP. Medyo hindi nakabang yung floor defense of NU on that chance ball. NU still up by 2 here as Cassie Dongalio serves. Lams goes to Celine, cross court.
Marsh just had all the opportunity to really place that ball where she wants with that kind of elevation and explosive approach. He was able to get the perfect contact with that ball to land right in the middle of the court where no one from UP was actually guarding.
But what a decoy that was also from Cham Maayan, leaving Celine Marsh with a single blocker.
And that's the job of the middle blockers, is to really confuse the blockers of your opponent.
Kaya I remember, Richie, when I was still playing, no? So, under Coach Tungku, lagi siyang galit pag yung mga middle blockers hindi tumatalon eh.
Yes. But, same with Coach Ramil.
As that play was brought to you by Kick, powered by Smart. Our way, our rules. Download the app now. First technical timeout here at set number 3, 4-8.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Good eyesight makes perfect moments. For expert eye care, state-of-the-art facilities, affordable eyewear. Go to EO. EO Executive Optical. Love your eyes.
Only projects, plans, play, games. With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Shakey's Creamy Spinach Pizza. Creamier.
Creamier, yummier. You are still watching the 2025 Shakey Super League Preseason Unity Cup. Coach Regine of the NU Lady Bulldogs admits that the team has been exhausted coming from an intense game yesterday, and they barely had the time to prepare aside from reviewing the games of UP. But according to her, this is the perfect opportunity to practice the discipline of making in-game adjustments and for the Lady Bulldogs to think on their feet. With pressure comes learning, and pressure is a privilege, sabi pa ni Coach Regine. According to the new coach of the Lady Bulldogs, the team is being pushed to the limit to communicate better, be in sync with the pulse of each other, and this is the best preparation they could ask for before stepping into the UAAP season to defend their crown. Rhea and Richie.
You know, what a beautiful statement and mindset coming from Coach Reg is to really push her girls to their limit, and not only that, is to really expose them to this type of atmosphere, especially going against UAAP teams as well. And also a factor is yung pagod.
Yes.
They're running on adrenaline, these girls. They had 2 games yesterday, and now they're going against another undefeated team. So it's really a test of character that will provide them a lot of maturity and lessons to adjust in game, such as Coach Red said.
And that mindset of Coach Reg na yung trust na binibigay niya sa girls is really manifested kung paano niya iniwan yung second starters niya in that second set, no? But what a block that was coming from NU. And this block is brought to you by Peri Peri Charcoal Chicken and Sauce Bar. Order now. Coach Fabio will call his first time. Let's listen in.
Setters, and I've been begging you to put the ball by the antenna from the first set. We're killing our spikers. We're supposed to kill their blockers. We got no options once the ball is short inside. They run into the middle. Open up the game to the antennas on both sides. They can see the line. Let's go, ladies.
That huddle was powered by Kick. Download the app now.
Yeah, he has been very good when it comes to specific instructions to his girls. So this time, I think he was open up their game when it comes to their attacking line, making sure that you get the opposite sides of the antenna to really look for those line ball hits.
Kumbaga para tumatakbo yung mga blockers ng NU, Richie, no? And in that sense, may iiwan yung attackers either with a single block or with a loose block, which is going to be a huge advantage already for UP.
Exactly. So this time, good adjustments coming from UP as this ball will be awarded to them.
It's a great block for the Fighting Maroons there. Of course, pag mga timeouts talaga, Richie, no, you have to respond right away to a point. But that's a good sign for UP.
And it's also taking advantage of the time that they get to communicate with the coach, especially because the coach will always have the point of view coming from outside of the court and not inside.
As this school play is brought to you by R&B Milk Tea. Order now. Great hit there from Chamaya.
A better showing here coming from NU. And I guess that's really because sanay na sila at this point to really move together. Their fluidity inside of the court is being established.
Jalai, first ball. Jalai off the block.
Great hit from Jalai Gajero. And a while ago, a few sequences ago, we also saw that Coach Fabio subbed in Mga Limutan and brought out Madriaga. So that is a really big call and risk. So the trust that he has on his setters, it's changing the whole play. It's changing the whole mind inside the court because the setter is the playmaker. Alinsug is now quickly activated by Lams Lamina.
Evangeline Sug with that familiar cross court.
And she didn't have a lot of time to approach and a lot of space, but she was still able to get that point and have a great attack.
Lam serving. Jalai with a pass. Jelay again, and she scores.
This time with more power for Jelay Gajero. It's such an advantage to be very skillfully gifted, especially in the jumping department, because it gives you a lot of avenue.
As this spike is brought to you by Potato Corner, world's best flavored fries. Order now. Ooh, another expensive error there for the Fighting Maroons.
Miss contact hit for Jelay Gajero for her jump serve.
Yun dapat yung mga iniiwasan na errors talaga, Richie, no? If you're in a situation like this, lalo na naghahabol pa kayo. But Evangeline Sog now serving for NU.
Yeah, let's not forget that all of our players now didn't play together in the first and second set.
Yes.
So ngayon lang din sila naglalaro. So it's also a big adjustment for them, but a bigger adjustment for UP finding their groove.
So, for contact violation will be called against NU. Ninya Itang on deck to serve for UP. Ooh, a long serve again.
2 consecutive service errors from the Fighting Maroons. So sayang din kasi as much as possible, you do not want to give the momentum, but most of all the confidence to NU na kayang-kaya nila kayo. So you need to match that kind of energy inside the court.
Alexa Mata now serving. Jelay with a pass. Cassie adjusts. Mga limutan to Jelay. Cross court, and that's good.
Too much power for that hit, making Marish actually fall to the floor trying to defend Cassie Dongalio's hit.
It's a great adjustment from Cassie Dongalio there. And yun na nga yung napag-usapan natin kanina, Richie, yung loose block talaga.
Exactly.
Malaking bagay na for an attacker.
So, mga limutan doing a good job activating her spikers.
Oh, great defense.
And defending too.
Yep. Cassie. Shia Hardio was there. Reverse set to Vaj from behind. That's good.
Great placement for Alinso, given that it was also not the best set for her. She was still able to adjust by jumping to the side.
9:16 is our score. Second technical timeout.
From era to era to era, the fun goes on. Shakey's 50 years.
Only projects, plans, play, games. With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Our face of the day is brought to you by Shakey's. From era to era to era, the fun keeps rolling. 50 years of family pizza and Shakey's. We're still live here at the Rizal Memorial Coliseum. It's game number 1 of this Sunday's triple header. I am Rhea Ragas, again together with Richie Cordero and Danny Nakpil at the sidelines. 16-19 na po, set number 3. UP and NU, 1 set apiece as Olango scores down the line.
Very sharp attack coming from Olango. A while ago, we were seeing her on the opposite side, but this one being activated in the open side of the court. So that's what you really want. The approaches are very similar when it comes to open and opposite, but of course the placement of the ball and really the direction that you choose is a variation that any attacker needs to adjust to when being set in the opposite side.
3 consecutive errors at the service area for UP. 17-10. Celine Marsh serving. Cassie with a pass. Mga limutan goes to the middle. Lams to Cham. Mga limutan reverses to Olango. Great block from Vanch.
And you remains consistent especially in displaying such great blockings.
This block is brought to you by Peri Peri Charcoal Chicken and Sauce Bar. Order now. Celine Marsh serving. It's an ace.
Another point for Celine Marsh. Actually, if you notice, Dongalio defending, wala siyang knee pads.
Yes.
And that's something they got from their high school when they came from California Academy under the Doc Obet, because hindi sila pinapayagan mag-knee pads. So it really pushes them to run for the ball.
Kumbaga hindi sila mag-depend na sa knee pads, no? Back-to-back aces for Celine Marsh. It's really nice to Celine Marsh, blossom into the player that she is right now.
You know, in attacking, we've been seeing more of the open spikers and the quick attackers. So it's nice to see that Celine Marsh has been dominant in another aspect of volleyball, not just attacking, but this time she has 3 points from that service line.
3 consecutive service aces for Celine Marsh, as Vangeline Sog will be substituted in. Or rather, Cantada will be substituted in. A block there from Cham Maaya. It's a great timing on that block for Cham Maaya. A good anticipation as well, although Cham was a little bit late on that, but still found a way to get that block. Olango, off speed, no go. 23-10 is our score here in set number 3. Celine Marsh still serving for NU. Great serve. Mga limutan. Goes to Gajero. That's off the block. Finally, UP stops the bleeding here with that attack off the block from Gajero. Di na nakuha ni Cham Maaya yung timing niya on that last sequence. UP now serving. Ooh, that's wide. That will definitely hurt UP, as NU now at set point 24-11. Cham Maaya serving for NU. Easy float over. Mga limutan. Goes to Jalai. Cross court, and it's good. Jalai saves set point. It's a great cross court coming from Jalai Gajero. That's exactly what Coach Fabio wants. Yung mga attacks coming from the antenna para tumatakbo yung mga blockers ng NU. And Itang hammers it down.
Great presence of mind coming from Nina Itang. You know, it's bread and butter for her to defend the net, but it's another thing to attack coming from those free balls of NU.
UP, they can't afford to commit an error here. And that will end set number 3. 24 or 25-13. Our score after that service error.
What a ride, with each new decade a fun new side. Still goes on and on and on, on and on and on. Shakey's got it going on. We still bring the fun.
With decades of great pizza, chicken, and mojos.
Shakey's fun goes on and on.
From era to era to era. The fun goes on. Shakey's 50 years.
The fun goes on at Shakey's.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Shakey's creamy spinach pizza. Creamier.
Creamier, yummier.
Only projects, plans, play, games. With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Cheer for your team while enjoying your Shakey's favorites with the Super League meal deal. Now available in 3 types: SSL 1099, SSL Classic, and SSL Gold. Whether you're craving pizza, chicken, mojos, or pasta, there's a bundle for every appetite. You also get to support your favorite team because for every order, 50 pesos goes to your chosen SSL participating school. Whether you're courtside or couch side, enjoy the action with the Super League meal deal. Now let's turn you over to Danny with a very special guest. Danny.
Yes, welcome Bella. No? So you're watching and supporting the NU Lady Bulldogs. What can you say about their outstanding performance, especially in this match?
Syempre I'm very happy kasi ang ganda ng pinapakita nila. Ang ganda ng ginagalaw nila inside the court. And ayun, may trust naman ako sa kanila na kaya nilang ipanalo yung game.
Sabi nga kanina ni Cham, no, that's their time to be the ate, and inspired talaga siya sa leadership mo and to be tough on the younger players also. So what can you say for that inspiration they're getting from you?
Syempre nakaka-flattered kasi syempre teammate ko siya before and hindi ko alam na ganun pala yung naiisip niya or nila sa akin. So ayun, I'm very happy kasi yung mga naiwan namin na leaders, talagang pinapakita nila kung paano yung pagiging leader. Ayun.
Thank you so much again, Bella. Back to you, ladies.
Thank you so much, Danny. You know what, Richie? Medyo naninibago pa rin ako seeing Bella outside the court. We covered almost a lot of her games, in fact, when she was still in the collegiate level, when she was still in NU. But right now, nasa pros na siya. So, ayun na yung medyo naninibago pa rin ako. But it's really nice to see her play in the pros right now.
You know, I agree. It's like when you say NU, Belabalan immediately enters your mind. So now that we're seeing a new team without her, but I think they're doing such a great job in defending and bringing honor to the legacy and the foundation that NU has had these past few years, taking the lead with 2-0 of UP.
It's set number 4 for UP against NU as the Lady Bulldogs ahead 2-1. And Lams Lamina will score an ace. Strong start for the Lady Bulldogs here in set number 4.
You know, it's really the forte of setters to have such strong serves because it's one of their only lines of attack.
Yep. Lams Lamina. Jalay with a pass. Olango from behind. She's denied.
Alexa Mata and Alinsug to block that attack.
It's a great anticipation on that attack coming from Olango. Lams Lamina still serving. Itang was there. Jelay off speed. Lams to the middle. Oh, that's wide.
Coach Reg just laughed at that error because she knew that there was great intention when it comes to trying to make that ball go to the sides of the court instead of in the middle, because she did see that there were a lot of defenders of UP in the middle side.
Itang with the jump serve. Lams combination play. That's wide for NU.
Another point here for UP. So a while ago, NU did a great job in the third set minimizing the errors, especially because ang haba ng dinamang nila when it came to consistency and the momentum. But this time, UP taking advantage of that, of the errors that they've been doing.
Mga limutan. Goes to Cassie. That's outside, says our first referee. But you can see Cassie, she's definitely not happy on that call. But of course, yun yung mga things that are beyond the player's control.
Yes. But you know, sometimes that kind of frustration, when you're not sure if it's in or if it's out or if there has been a faulty call, it gives you kind of motivation na, oh, the next point is mine.
Yes. So let's see. As Cassie Dongallo will try again, she's denied.
Oh, but that explosive attack was very heavily guarded by the blockers of NU. That's Mata to give credit to.
No, the discipline of Alexa Mata din talaga, no? Kahit na dulo-dulo na yung mga...
Hahabulin niya pa.
Yes. It's nice to have a middle blocker like that as your teammate.
Great first ball.
1-2 play. Yes, it's good for mga limutan. I think that's really parang the only way to do that.
Yes.
Richie din kasi ang lapit nung pasa to the net.
Exactly. Coming from a jump serve of Alinsog, that ball spins with a lot of power, of course. So it's really hard to direct that first ball to your setter.
As Pat Salazar forces an error. (6-4), set number 4. Mga limutan, serving for UP. Celine Marsh. Ardio will set it up to Celine. Coverage was there for NU. Celine will try again. Great defense for UP. Cassie, cross court, no go. Vanj, and it's good.
Perfect spot for Vanj Alinsog. Actually, if you saw that play, she was waiting for her turn to spike, and she was actually already looking at UP on where to direct that ball.
That play was brought to you by Kick, powered by Smart. Our play, our way, our rules. Download the app now. Mata serving for NU. Ooh, that's wide.
Another error from the Lady Bulldogs.
If I'm not mistaken, Richie, 3 errors for NU so far at the set number 4. So out of the 5 points from UP, 3 of those
them was
error. But the combination play from Celine Marsh is good.
Great job tricking the blockers of UP. Let's see that once again. A lower set as well, but she was able to quickly adjust and become faster in that explosive attack of hers.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Good eyesight makes perfect moments. For expert eye care, state-of-the-art facilities, affordable eyewear. Go to EO. EO Executive Optical. Love your eyes.
Unli projects, plans, play, games! With Smart Unli 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Shakey's Creamy Spinach Pizza. Creamier.
Creamier? Yummier! You are still watching the 2025 Shakey Super League Preseason Unity Cup. Kanina, before the game started, I was able to chat with Cassie Dongallo, and she said that she's very motivated to win this game for redemption as they lost to NU in the invitational season. This is not our first time to face them, and we have a lot of learning, especially sa invitational game na yon. According to her, they made a lot of adjustments, focusing on each player, studying both strengths and weaknesses, and we can see na hindi talaga bibitaw ang UP with this neck-and-neck match against NU. Cassie is very happy as the Fighting Maroons barged into the second round and being one of the top scorers for her team. Looking forward to a high-rank finish this season as compared to when she used to play for UE. Let us see if UP will recover and force a fifth set. Back to you, ladies.
Thank you so much, Danny, for that report. During the National Invitationals, it was UP and NU that played in that Davao leg, sa Mindanao leg, Davao. And NU ngayon nag-champion doon. But what a great mindset coming from Cassie Dongalio na they're going up against a familiar foe. So andun na yung, kumbaga alam nila yung sistema ng NU.
Yes.
So kung paano na lang siya gustong bumawi, paano niya ma-execute yung bawi.
I think the frustration also from that match comes from because alam nilang kaya nila.
Yes.
In the UAAP, they were able to win against NU.
Yes.
So yung natalo sila, of course it gives frustration kasi alam mo you're already there, you're already in the same level and skill level of your opponent.
Bien Bansil serving for UP. Vanch over pass. Coverage was there. Vanch off speed. Mga limutan, one-handed set. Chance ball. Sham, and it's good. Siya pa yung kumuha, Richie, no?
First ball and third ball sa kanya, she really had limited time to approach and to jump, but she was still able to adjust.
Yes.
Celine Marsh had 3 consecutive service aces in the previous set.
Oh, great serve. Mga limutan, one-handed set.
Better execution of plays coming from UP. Now that's so important that if you get a nice first ball, you activate right away your middle blockers.
This school play is brought to you by R&B Milk Tea. Order now. Ali serving. Hardio with a pass. Chamaya, she's denied. Bump set to Vanch. Defense was there for UP. Jalai, drop ball, and it's good.
Jalai Gajero has been quiet in the first part of this set, but this time starting her points with a variation of drops.
Ooh. Service error for UP. Chamaya on deck to serve for the Lady Bulldogs. Easy ball over. Gajero. Langs to the open. Vanch cross-court.
Let's see that play once again. Good first ball. But a kneeling set to Vanch Alinsug. And she was able to find the perfect spot for that attack.
Timeout, Coach Fabio.
Half of the team where the positions are. Where were you in training? Ladies, this is frustrating because we cannot play volleyball if we have to talk volleyball all the time. Keep the positions. You know the cross court. They attack cross court. Bring the block inside. Bring the block inside. Let's be aggressive with the middles have to block. So you guide them. Let's go, ladies.
That huddle was powered by Kick. Download the app now.
A lot of frustration coming from Coach Fabio, and I think what makes him frustrated the most is that alam niyang kaya ng girls.
Yes.
And they showed that when they won the second set. So I think he's just looking for the same intensity of volleyball action and of course to showcase their talents because nandiyan eh.
Yes. In fact, he said na we can't play volleyball if we keep on talking about volleyball. Kasi
we have to do volleyball.
Yeah, you can't afford na parang you instruct the girls kung ano yung gagawin because you're doing that in training.
Exactly.
So, kumbaga sa game yung inaaralan nyo lang sana is yung ano yung galaw ng kalaban nyo currently. But another error will be called against UP.
deck to serve. Coach Reg happy so far with the performance of her girls.
14-18. 14-8. It's an ace for Cham Maaya. Coach Fabio will call his last time. Let's listen in.
Hey, shoot in 4. That's the game. Shooting 4, shooting 4, shooting 4. Find gap or find line, all right? That's what we're gonna do tonight because nothing else is working and we're coming up with strange ideas and strange positioning here, all right? So our game is there. We're gonna lose there, okay? Let's go.
That huddle was powered by Kick. Download the app now.
What I got from that timeout was find gaps or find lines. It's so important to find those lapses and windows from the blockings of NU and of course their defensive line. So it's really important that the girls are able to show that in their next sequences.
Again, a very analytical timeout from a Coach Fabio. Jalai down the line and it's good.
That hits right on the line for Jalai Gajero. So I think NU's defensive line was actually expecting a cross-court hit. That's why most of their players actually moved to the left side of the court. But Jalai Gajero was able to spot that lap and gap in their defensive line, which was exactly what Coach Fabio said.
1-2 play. Cassie. Defense was there for NU. Cassie will try again and she scores.
Same spot from Jalai Gajero and Cassie Dongalio. She has been successful in producing points.
This spike is brought to you by Potato Quarter, world's best flavored fries. Order now. Jalai Gajero serving. Shaira Hardio, perfect pass. Not the best of sets though. Cassie down the line and it's good. It's a great down the line hit from Cassie Dongalio. Jalai, jump serve. Lams. To Pat. Defense was there for UP. Vanch will try again. Cassie off the block and she scores. (15-12) is our score. Timeout will be called.
Tingnan mo yung blocker mo. Dito blocker. This is not new. You just have to connect, take this point. Mahirapan kayo pag nahabol kayo.
And you! That huddle was powered by Kick. Download the app now.
Coach Reg just instructing her girls na, or reminding her girls na pag nahabol kayo, mahihirapan kayo because you don't want to give the intensity or the confidence to UP that they had in the first and second set. So as much as possible, you want to stay on top and in control of the game. And just like that, Mata was able to find a sweet spot for her, especially in aiming for the corners.
It's our second technical timeout, 16-12.
From era to era to era, the fun goes on. Shakey's 50 years.
Unli projects, plans, play, games. With Smart Unli 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app. Choose your number. Activate the eSIM and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
We're still live here at the Rizal Memorial Sports Complex for our game number 1. And this Sunday's triple header. Mamaya po, we will witness the Ateneo de Manila University and Adamson, and of course, the UST Golden Tigresses will go up against the NCAA defending champions, CSB Lady Blazers. Lams with a serve. Cassie, defense was there. Bump set to Vange. Jalai was there for UP. Cassie, cross court, and it's good.
Cassie Dongalio has been aiming for the exact same spot, and NU has actually not done any adjustment in their defensive line in guarding those cross-court hits, or down-the-line hits actually, in the corners of their side of the court.
Ninya Itang. Oh, that's long.
Costly service error. When you're down a couple of points, you want to be consistent to gain the momentum to your side of the court, so these errors are not wanted at all.
Vange on deck to serve. Cassie with a pass. Cassie, she's denied.
This time, a solid block and no entry coming from the NU Lady Bulldogs. Cassie gave it her all for that explosive attack, pero nakapantay na and nakasarado ang blockings ng Lady Bulldogs.
Nakita ko si Coach Fabio Richin. Tinanong niya yung second ref kung may timeout pa ba daw siya. Sabi ng second ref, wala na. Unfortunately, Coach Fabio, wala nang timeout as Evangeline Silk scores an ace.
Yeah, Coach Fabio really just trying to give the most instruction to his girls.
It's a great ace there from Evangeline Silk. 13-19 na po. Set number 4.
Yeah, Alinsug, she wasn't the most vocal in today's game, but through performance, wow.
Yes.
in defense, in serving, in attacking, and even blocking. A while ago, she had a couple too. And this time, Marsh remains consistent and becoming one of the main mans of the NU Lady Bulldogs. A longer hit from Marsh, but you see her actually directing her spike where the smaller blocker is. So if nakita mo yung kamay ng blockers, two blockers in front of her, pero pinadaan niya sa mas maliit na blocker.
Still serving is Evangeline Sog. Great pass there from UP. Cassie, block was there for NU. Cassie will try again, off speed. It's a free ball for UP. Ira from behind, great dig. Cassie, and she scores.
Ardia doing a good job defending the spikes of UP, but Dongalio just variating that and dropping it right in the middle when it was needed.
Right when you would expect a Cassie to go for that power hit, no? But she chose to outsmart the defense of NU as Lamb's reverse set. Cassie was there.
Good floor defense for Dongalio as well. Coverage, she's covering herself.
Yes. Celine, she's denied.
This time, UP will be the one to block the attacks of the NU Lady Bulldogs. And that's the advantage also of having such a tall and skillful player such as Ali in front of one of the most explosive spikers coming from NU.
That will definitely boost the confidence of UP.
But of course, Celine Marsh just tries to shake it off.
Oh, Pat off the block.
Yeah, good intention from UP, but that ball will sail out. Actually, when it hit when the ball had contact with the blocker's arms, she actually still moved it. So kung hindi niya yun ginalaw, it would have been a point for UP.
Alexa Mata serving. Oh, what a serve. And she scores. Great ace there from Mata. So far, the Lady Bulldogs, Richie, they're also capitalizing on their service aces. No, kanina we saw another ace from Vange Alinsug.
And service aces was actually the winning factor that made them stay undefeated and win against the Lady Falcons yesterday, because in yesterday's stats, lamang ang Lady Falcons with the spikes, lamang sila sa block. It was really the service aces. They had 10.
Yes. Mga limutan, goes to Ali. Cross court, a great defense for NU. Celine, cross court, and it's good.
Too much firepower for Celine Marsh. A while ago, yung na-block siya, sabi niya, wala yon, okay lang, okay lang, yes. And ang bilis niya din bumawi, and with so much conviction. Look at that attack, really avoiding the blocker's hands and finding that perfect spot.
23-15. NU will only need 2 points to secure this match. Mga limutan, reverses to Cassie. NU was there. Pat, she's denied.
Now we know that UP is also a tall team. That's why they need to capitalize on that height advantage.
Cassie Dongallo with a serve. Oh, a miscommunication for NU.
Sayang. Ang ganda ng paso ni Hardio.
I think Lams Lamina was trying to go after a combination play. Pero walang nakakuha doon. As Cassie will score an ace.
UP is trying to stay alive as NU is 2 points to close this match. And that's what you want, even in the crucial times or crucial moments of the game. The seniors or the veterans will really lead by example to show that pressure is there, but it's important to convert that pressure into points.
Abuneta, cross court, and it's wide.
Asking for a check ball, but our first referee will award that point to the NU Lady Bulldogs.
With that, the Lady Bulldogs now at match point. Spat Salazar will serve. Easy ball over. Mga limutan, goes to the middle. Lams chooses Celine, and she scores.
Beautiful point from Celine Marsh, and that will close off our game for today. I guess one team will really stay undefeated, and that team will be none other than our defending champions, the NU Lady Bulldogs. What a beautiful finish by our Celine Marsh.
The NU Lady Bulldogs remains to be on top here at the second round of our Shakey's Preseason Unity Cup after defeating UP in 4 sets. But of course, you have to give credit to UP as well. Hindi rin naging madali for the Lady Bulldogs in securing this match. But after all, it's Vange Alinsug and her squad will remain undefeated as they head on in the anticipating in the quarterfinals.
I think just showing up after game after game after training, and of course it's midterm season for our girls, for all of our collegiate girls. It's really such a test of character to be able to show up with the same presence and energy.
25-18 is our final score in set number 4.
Shakey's fun goes on and on and on, on and on and on. Shakey's got it going on, we still bring the fun.
With decades of great pizza, chicken, and mojos.
Shakey's fun goes on and on.
From era to era, to era. The fun goes on. Shakey's 50 years.
The fun goes on at Shakey's.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Shakey's creamy spinach pizza. Creamier.
Creamier, yummier.
Only projects, plans, play, games. With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
25-20, 25-23, 25-13, and 25-18 is our score. NU remains to be undefeated as we have our MVP of the match. And this MVP of the match is brought to you by Shakey's. From era to era to era, the fun keeps rolling. 50 years of fun, family, and pizza at Shakey's. Of course, we have one player that stood out, Richie. And sino ang napili mo?
Of course, we have our leader and team captain, Vange Alinsog, who really led by example and her presence inside of the court, resulting into 14 amazing points.
Now let's hear from Vange. She's with Danny.
Congratulations ulit, Vange. No? Naging napaka-maaksyon ng last 2 games ninyo and you barely have time to rest. Pero nanalo pa rin kayo. Paano nyo nagawa yun?
Actually, minotivate lang namin yung sarili namin kasi alam talaga namin na magiging sunod-sunod yung laro. And yung goal naman talaga namin is makapag-perform kami ng maayos and may panalo din yung games na sunod-sunod.
And very intense pa rin tong game na to with UP, no? So what was the biggest challenge that you had to overcome against them?
Sa amin naman, hindi lang namin tinanggalan yung moral yung isa't isa kasi alam namin na hindi rin talaga magpapatalo yung UP. So kami, pinag-aralan namin sila and ayun, in-apply naman namin sa game and nakipagtulungan din naman yung mga teammates ko.
Ayan, dahil kang player of the game, sino mga gusto mong batiin, Van?
Sa NU supporters po, sana po hindi kayo magsawang i-support kami. And also sa family ko po sa Katmon, Cebu. And shoutout ko din pala si Ate Bel na nanood po sa amin today. And hi din po kay Kuya Noy!
Ayan, dahil ikaw ang Shakey's MVP of the match, may special gift para sa'yo ang Shakey's. Congratulations once again, Vange Alinsog, and of course, to the NU Lady Bulldogs who are keeping the record undefeated here at the SSL. Now let me turn you over to Rhea and Richie.
Thank you so much, Danny. And of course, congratulations to our MVP of the match and the rest of the Lady Bulldogs. Now it's time to check out our Smart Powered Up plays brought to you by Smart's Only 5G. Stay connected for only 85 pesos for 3 days. Load now through the Smart app. Set number 1, Richie, we saw how the NU started off things with a strong hand here. And we really saw how Celine Marsh and Vange Alinsog really tandem together to collectively get this win.
No, but UP also gave them a really great fight, matching that kind of energy and intensity from the start to the finish of this first set. Now, set number 2, it was more of a play of players. We had, of course, Dongario and the first setter, Madriaga for UP, but we also had Sam Cantada, Pono. Of course, we had Escanlar and Bombita on the side of NU who really just played their best, but UP remained stronger and more consistent in that second set, ending it 25-20.
And of course, in set number 3, this is where we saw how UP really got this set with a decisive win. No, parang nakita natin na, or NU rather, nakita natin na how things really changed for them. Yung momentum nila, napatuloy nila dito.
UP was really challenged, especially when it came to the starters of NU who dominated that match. Now, when it came to set number 4, UP had a better showing and even got close to NU, especially in the middle parts of that set. But of course, we had Celine Marsh, we had Alinsog, Mata, who really showed up for the attacking line of the NU Lady Bulldogs.
And of course, that's our final score in set number 4 is 25-18. And NU ending it with 4 sets. Now let's take a look at our statistics in this match.
match summary will be 45 attack points for UP to only 43. So lamang pa nga ang UP when it came to their attack points. But with the blocking system of NU just dominating the 7 of UP, NU had 11. Of course, hindi nagpatalo sa service ang NU. They remained consistent from their previous game to this game, 10 last game, and then now 9 to only 3 of UP. But of course, the underlying factor will always be the opponent errors coming from UP that gave NU that head start.
So huge congratulations to Vangeline Sog and the rest of the Lady Bulldogs. Don't go away as game number 2 is underway. That's Ateneo against Adamson.